Hi friends, Darla here. I've been working on this surgical mask, taking a lot of people's best practices, and I think we have a really good model that's quick to make, and I want to share how we're doing that. This surgical mask is all made out of fabric. It has a pipe cleaner for the nose, and it has a pocket for a filter. Let's look at the materials. You will need a 15 by 7.5 inch piece of cotton. You will need 2 straps, 33 inches long by 1.5 inches wide. When we start, after you have cut these materials, you're going to iron them and put a fold on one side of both straps of 1/4 inch, the full length. Then on your 15 by 7.5 piece of fabric, you're going to put a double fold and iron it on both ends. You will then, I've already done this on another piece of material, you will then go to the sewing machine and sew both ends. Now we're ready to make your mask. With that piece of fabric flat, you are going to fold it up towards the middle, and then you're going to fold the top piece down towards the middle. This becomes the place where you can add a filter, okay? It does not have to be perfectly in the middle. Somewhere in the middle third is fine. If you want to add a pipe cleaner or another metal for the nose, now is a good time to do that. Let me show you where it goes. In the top piece, you are going to fold back that crease, put it right up in the top, bring the fold back over. If you ironed it, the crease is there. You can pin this in place and then just stitch right along the side of the pipe cleaner, and that will become the top of your mask. For today, I'm not doing that to save time. Building our creases is critical. It's going to make the side of the mask smaller at the cheekbone and allow for a large amount of fabric to be across the nose and the chin, which is what we're looking for in the mask. So let's start with making a crease at the top of the mask. It's about 1/4 inch, and you want for both sides to be equal so the mask is uniform when the person is wearing it. You're going to pin that in place on both sides. You're going to do the same on the bottom. This gets easier the more you do it. And then you will put one somewhere in the middle as well. For the sake of time, I have already done this on another mask. But what I want to point out, you will then iron this. Here's one that I've done already. You want to make sure that both sides are the same size. So I'm at 3.5 inches. On this side, when I stitched it, it grew to almost 4 inches. So when we're stitching, you want to be aware, and you want to make sure you start out at about 3.5 inches before you go to the sewing machine. Okay, now we are ready to go to the sewing machine with our strap and our face mask that needs it. We're going to attach it in one step and finish this mask. Come to the sewing machine. So at the sewing machine, this is the piece that I learned that I think really is incredible and speeds up this process. The mask is going to end up the same whether this side where the filter goes in or the other side, because it's all going to get a top stitch of zigzag. So it's going to look the same no matter which side. The key is we're going to start with putting the middle, and this has this because I didn't have enough material to cut one piece that was 33 inches long, so I had to stitch it together. But the key is put the middle of the long piece right side against the mask, and we're going to stitch that. With a straight stitch. Make sure not to run over your pins. You might break your needle. That's not a good thing. And see how I'm holding the mask with my left finger? When I pull out the pin, if you don't have your finger there, your pleat is going to leave. Okay. So now that is stitched on our mask, and we're ready to finish the other side with the top stitch, the zigzag. Okay, turn your mask over. Now that folded piece is going to come into play. It is key to be aware. So I'm looking at my mask where I'm going to be folding over and top stitching. I want to get to the end of the one piece to be able to stitch and end up at my mask on the right side. So I tuck the top down. There's my fold. Now I'm going to fold my unpressed side under and the whole thing. I'm making a bias tape as I'm going. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to stick it into the machine, and I'm going to make sure I'm on zigzag, and I'm going to start with backing up and going forward. That sets it, and now I'm going to build my bias tape and sew. Fold it in, fold it over, top stitch, zigzag. I'm getting near to the mask. Just be aware of that. And now the underfold is on the other side of the mask, so it's there. And I'm just going to make sure that as I come onto the mask with that zigzag, boom, there it is. See it? Pulling it over, boom, zigzag. Getting to the other side, I'm going to have to fold the under. Make sure it's covering all the way. And now I'm just finishing the other side. At the end, I fold these under, the end is under, and just finish folding it. Just so everything is inside, take it to the end, back it up, and that mask comes off. And now it is done. I hope that was helpful. Good luck making the mask. Let's everybody be safe. Thank you.